Hey there, and welcome. Have you ever looked at a diamond and just wondered, am I getting a fair price? For a long time, that question has been almost impossible to answer. But what if you could track diamond prices just like you track stocks? Well, today, we're doing exactly that. We're pulling back the curtain on the whole glittering world of diamond pricing, and we're going to use the one tool that brings cold, hard data to all that sparkle, the IDEX Diamond Index.
So here's our game plan. First up, we'll tackle that historical pricing mystery. Then, I'll introduce you to the IDEX index, the modern solution to that problem. After that, we're going to break down what really moves the market. We're talking diamond drivers. We'll even take a look at the price trends over the last year. And then, we'll wrap it all up by talking about why any of this actually matters to you.
All right, let's dive right in with the fundamental problem, the thing that's been confusing people for ages, just trying to figure out what a diamond is actually worth.
I mean, that's the million-dollar question, right? For the longest time, the answer was, well, it was a huge shrug. You see, unlike something like gold or oil, there was no universal sticker price, which, you can imagine, led to a whole lot of confusion and guesswork.
Exactly. The market was what you'd call opaque. Basically, it was murky and hard to see through. This total lack of a clear, reliable benchmark meant that prices could be all over the place, depending on who you were talking to. The whole system was just crying out for a little bit of transparency.
So what if we could flip a switch and bring some serious light to this foggy market? Well, that's exactly what our next section's all about. The tool that brought some much-needed clarity.
Okay, the easiest way to get your head around the IDEX index is to think of it like the S&P 500. You know how the S&P 500 gives you a quick snapshot of how the stock market is doing? Well, the IDEX index does the exact same thing, but for the wholesale price of diamonds. It's a really simple but super powerful idea. So what is it exactly? Get this. The IDEX Diamond Index is a real-time index. It's not some dusty report that comes out once a month. It's built on this gigantic database of diamond inventory from all over the world, with data stretching all the way back to 2001, and this is the crazy part, it's updated every hour. That gives us an incredibly sharp, up-to-the-minute picture of the market. Okay, so now that we know what the index is, we've got to figure out what actually makes it tick. This brings us to what are called the diamond drivers. These are these specific kinds of diamonds that are so popular their prices create ripples across the entire market.
Now here's where it gets really interesting. This chart shows us that the index isn't just some big, vague average. Nope, it's heavily influenced by the most common, most traded diamonds out there. And you can see it right here. The classic 1 to 1.5 carat round diamond is the absolute king, making up more than 12% of the entire market value that the index tracks.
And this table lets us pop the hood and see the engine. You can see not just the market share for each of these key drivers, but their current average asking price too. And just look at the price difference between a 1 carat round and a 3 carat round. Wow, we are talking a huge jump in price.
And you know that top driver we just talked about? If you saw its full industry name, it would look like a bunch of intimidating code. But all that is, really, is just industry speak for the most classic diamond you can possibly imagine. A round stone between 1 and 1.5 carats with a solid standard range of quality.
And that very diamond, its current average wholesale asking price is sitting just over $3,000. This is what we mean by clarity, taking all that complex data and boiling it down into one single easy-to-understand number. All right, we've looked at the individual pieces, the building blocks. Now it's time to zoom out and see how all of this builds the bigger picture of how the market has been doing over the past year. So this graph, this tells a really clear story. From March of 2025 right through to January of this year, the general trend for wholesale diamond prices has been heading down. But, and this is important, notice those little spikes and jagged dips? Those show you that even inside a bigger trend, there's still plenty of volatility in the market. It's definitely not a simple, smooth ride down. So, where does that leave us right now, today? As of January 15, 2026, the IDEX Diamond Index is sitting at 84.56. That number is our real-time snapshot, our pulse check on the global diamond market. Okay, so after all of that, the data, the charts, the numbers, what is the big takeaway here? Why does a tool like the IDEX Diamond Index even matter in the real world?
Well, it matters because it empowers pretty much everyone. If you're a buyer, it's a tool you can use to check if you're getting a fair deal. For sellers, it's a solid benchmark to value what they have in stock. If you're an investor, it gives you a transparent look at market trends, but maybe most importantly for all of us, it brings objective data to what has always been a really emotional purchase. It gives you the power of knowledge.
Which, leaves us with one final thought to chew on. In a world where we can track the value of a diamond hour by hour, just like it's a stock, it really makes you wonder, doesn't it? Are diamonds still just a girl's best friend, or are they becoming an investor's too? Something to think about. Thanks for joining me.